Happy morning to everyone. Welcome to my channel Biotech Info, and today we are going to know about the 10 interesting facts about the pteridophyta. Pteridophyta is a word which was coined by Ernest Haeckel, and the study of pteridophytes is known as pteridology. And this is a word which was took from a Greek language, and the meaning of this one is it consisting of a feather like leaves. And pteridophytes are also known as the reptiles of the plant kingdom, and which are known as an amphibians of the plant kingdom, bryophytes. And these are the first terrestrial plants, but they are not successful. Why they are not successful? Because for the completion of the life cycle of the plant species which are coming under the pteridophytes, the water is required for them. That's why we are going to call that they are not successful, but they are the first terrestrial plants. And these are also known as vascular cryptogams. Cryptogams represents that these plant species are not consisting of the seeds. Means it is a seedless plants. Then you may have got the doubt that how reproduction is going to take place. Reproduction is going to take place with the help of its structures called as a small minute structures called spores. And these are going to be called it as vascular. Vascular only represents that here the tissue, the xylem and phloem tissue, which is responsible for the conduction and transportation of the water and food material, is present. But there is an exception. What is that exception? In xylem and phloem, we are seeing the different types of the cells. Why we are seeing different types of the cells? Because xylem and phloem is a complex tissue. It consisting of different types of cells. In the different types of the cells, in particular pteridophytes, xylem in that xylem vessels, in phloem the companion cells are absent. It is a complex tissue. Which one is a complex tissue? Xylem and phloem is a complex tissue. It consisting of different types of cells. In that different types of the cells, particularly in a pteridophyta, we are observing that in xylem vessels are absent. In phloem companion cells are absent. But it is going to happen in all the species of pteridophytes? No, there is an exception. What is that exception? Pteridium, Selaginella and the Marsilea, it is consisting of the vessels. Xylem vessels are present, but they are not going to be called as true vessels, but they are going to be called it as an false vessels. Where you are going to see this false vessel? Pteridium, Selaginella as well as in Marsilea. These are the exceptional plants which are coming under the pteridophytes, where you can see the xylem vessels, but they are not true vessels. They are known as in false vessels. In pteridophytes, secondary growth is absent. Actually, for the secondary growth, what is required? Mostly the cambium should be present. In pteridophytes, secondary growth is absent only represents that the cambium is not present or cambium is not developed. But here also an exceptional species is present, that is Isocetes, where you can see that secondary growth is present. And next one is dominant phase. Actually, in the bryophytes, we have seen the gametophyte is a dominant phase. But here, in the pteridophytes, the dominant phase is a sporophyte, that is 2n. That is, it's consisting of 2n number. And sporophyte, rarely woody, no secondary growth, mostly herbaceous. What is the meaning here? That because secondary growth is absent, the structures of this particular plants will not be woody structure. Rarely woody, why I said? Because there are certain exception like Isocetus plant species is there, where you can see the cambium is present. There you can see that the plant species is woody. Remaining all are herbaceous, like it is having a slender structure. Now they are short-lived. Which are short-lived? Pteridophytes. Why they are going to have a short life? Because the primary root is going to convert itself into the adventitious root, and also it is an erect. Some species will be erect, some species will be like a prostrate, and also they are going to be attached to the substratum like a rhizome. Now coming to the point of leaves. Already we come to know that this plant species consisting of a feather-like leaves. Now here there are two types of leaf, that is microphyllous and next one is megaphyllous. Microphyllous only represents that the leaves will be smaller. And in which species the leaves are very smaller? In Selaginella, in Equisetum and Lycopodium are the plant species where you can see the leaves are very small, and we can even call that one as microphyllous. Megaphyllous means somewhat larger leaves you are going to see in this particular species. Which species those are? Pteridium, Pteris and Marsilia. And we have come to know that in the pteridophytes, the dominant phase is a sporophyte. And this sporophyte is going to consisting of a sporangia. And that sporangia is going to form a spore-like structures, because we have already said that pteridophytes are vascular cryptogams. They are seedless plants. They are going to perform the reproduction process with the help of a spore, and that spores are going to be formed in the sporangia. And what are those spores are going to be called it as? Meiospores. And that meiospores are of two types, that is homosporous as well as the heterosporous. Homosporous means what? If all the spores which was formed in that particular dominant phase of life cycle of the pteridophytes is similar, then you are going to call that one as an homosporous. Only one type of spores. And where you are going to see that one type of spores? In Lycopodium as well as in Drioteris. And here heterosporous. Heterosporous only represents that it is consisting of two types of spores, and again it was subdivided into microspores and megaspores. Like how the leaves are divided into two categories, like a microphyllous and megaphylous, like that only here also microspores and megaspores. Microspores very minute spores, megaspores a little bit larger than the microspores. And here heterospores, where these are present in Salvinia, in Selaginella and also Isocetus. Isocetus, one characteristic is what? This plant species is going to have the hoody structure. Why it is having a hoody structure? Because you are going to have a observing the secondary growth that cambium is present in this particular species. And Selaginella, we are going to say that these are going to consisting of a small minute leaves, microphyllous and megaphylous, and these all are herbaceous. And fronds is the word which was took for this pteridophytes. What is that? Is if the plants like ferns which consisting of the leaves, you are going to call that one as a fronds. And here there are two types of leaf. What is that leaves? Called as vegetative leaves as well as in reproductive leaves. Vegetative leaves are responsible only for the process of photosynthesis. Reproductive leaves are responsible for the production of the sporangia, and that sporangia is going to have the meiospores. And in the next one, we are going to learn about the life cycle of the pteridophytes.